Good morning, my friends. Happy Friday, April 10th. April 10th. You hear that? April 10th. We're in the fourth month of this year. Where do you stand with your goals for the year? Wow, that's not the topic today. Gotta stay on topic. It's Friday. Gonna make it quick because it's Friday. You know, even though I'd like to live like every day's a weekend, the fact is the world operates, for the most part, Monday through Friday. Saturday and Sunday are weekends, right? That's typically how most of the world works, and that's all man-made. But we're not here to debate that today. I've decided at the beginning of the month I was going to go every day. I didn't do anything last weekend. And I think what I'm going to do is just random something quick on the phone over the weekend. Anyway, want to keep this one short. What I'd like to discuss, mention, share with you, since we're in this coronavirus phase, it's a phase just like anything else. Maybe you can use this time to help move forward with your life. And I'm not talking about washing hands and this, that, and the other. Just how you perceive life. This is just affirmation to me. This just confirms how people think. If you know, if it's, I hear a lot of the conspiracy theories about Bill Gates and tracking people and population control and 5G and the coincidence between 5G and the coronavirus, and every time something big happens, which there's been plenty of situations where something major has happened and everybody's like, oh my God. The internet, for one. Cell phones, when they first came out. Wi-Fi. You know, all this stuff brings out the conspiracy theories, which are fine. You know, there may be some truth in them. I believe, as I said before, I believe there's truth in everything. But you have to separate yourself. You have to separate your feelings from the situation to be unbiased. And you have to be able to organize your thoughts and what's going on to not get confused. Not being confused is having clarity. So when something happens, when something comes up, you know, things change. That's life. Life has changed. Life is completely different than when we first started, depending on how you view life. Even if you believe in the Immaculate Conception, you know, Adam and Eve, that's how we started, or if we started from microbes, either way, it's different than when we started. It's evolution, however you want to define evolution. It's a growing, it's a changing. So I'm not going to go deep into my thoughts on that. Regardless, you know, I watch and I observe, because I can watch the news without getting upset and getting emotionally attached. I taught myself to do that, because I used to get really emotional attached to things. I hated confrontation. If somebody didn't like what I was doing, for example, I used to sell on eBay, and if somebody had an issue with an item or something, it just ate me up. And I did things, I put myself in uncomfortable situations so I could learn and grow from them. I did that personally because I wanted to grow. Not everybody wants to grow, but if you're here listening to me, you want to grow, you want to make a change, you don't want to be stuck in this feeling. I read something today, somebody was talking about being an empath, and you know, we need you to listen. You are what you are, and if you're good with that, then go for it. But if you're what you call an empath and things that happen affect you and affect you negatively and you want to change that, you can change it. There is nothing in your body, who your parents are, your DNA, what sun you were born under, what moon, what star sign you are. There's nothing that's fixed. You can change it all. Oh my goodness. Got me excited this morning. Up here. With that being said, you're blowing me up this morning. You have to be an observer. Observe. Don't get attached. You know, we often listen to respond instead of listen to understand, and that includes with a partner, with employees, with a boss, with whatever, even with the news. You have to be able to take this information, see what's solid, get clarity. You know, because I see people, and I'm talking, when I say people at this point, I'm talking about some well-known people that are now second-guessing what we've done for shutting down the country because the numbers aren't what they thought they were. Well, let's keep in mind, the numbers aren't what we thought they were because we did what we did. You have to keep those things in mind. You have to get clarity on what really is. The virus is a real thing. The virus is a virus. It's the COVID or Corona has been around for a while. This is a different strand. It does spread easily. It does affect a lot of people. It would have affected more if we wouldn't have done the things that we did. You just have to be clear. You can't, as you're observing, if you'll watch, you'll notice that people with a certain opinion or a certain view are always going to spew the same things. There's very few that are in the media that are unbiased, that are really looking for knowledge, looking for the information, and sharing what they find. On both sides, and then there's some that just they'll totally attack what's going on. Either way. So for your own peace of mind, this is about you. Find clarity in the situation. Figure out what it means to you, how it affects you going forward. See, and that's the other problem. People stay stuck in the past too long. Well, we should have done this, should have done that. Okay, in the next pandemic, we'll decide. But it's been very clear that because for the most people don't do what they're supposed to do as far as washing, not touching each other. So the best way to do it was to stay away from each other. It wasn't so much as coughing on each other, it was becoming in contact, which that still happens. I mean, like when you go to the grocery store, if I consume a space that you had just consumed, we basically were just standing next to each other, in essence. But I can see how the whole thing worked, and I can see how we can take care of it going forward. It won't be that big of a deal. But the coronas will still be around, so you still have to be cautious if you don't want to get sick. Or get sick, get over it, and move on. There's still a lot of unknowns. Just try to find clarity in stuff. Don't try to find an absolute answer. Find out what works best for you and just find some clarity. Breathe. If you'll notice, I just got over my coughing spell. It started tickling. I took care of that. I do need to go drink some water, though. I love you guys. I don't know if nothing else, I'll see you Monday. Hear you Monday. See ya! See, and I can't say wouldn't want to be it because I am you. You're me, I'm you. That's a conversation for another day.